So if we don't mind, why don't we just start off by introducing yourselves and what your profession is on the ship.
Okay. Hey guys, my name's Emma. I'm a... Oh god, that's wrong. Hang on, start again. Do you want the last name in it as well? You don't care.
Here.
Sorry. I can't even...
I'm going to get my whole blooper roll.
Let's start this one more time. Hey guys, my name's Emma and I'm assistant cast manager on board the ship.
Hi, I'm Jason. I am a dancer on the ship.
Hi, and I'm Trisha. I'm a production singer and the cast vocal captain.
There we go. Now, a lot of people automatically know that you're one of the singers, but you guys sing as well. And a lot of people don't actually know that you guys actually sing in the background and on some of the other accompaniments, right?
Yes.
So how long have you guys been singing?
Well, most of us did a performing arts college course growing up as our profession and everything. We might have done, gone through school as normal, and then once we graduated school, then we would do our full-time performing arts courses after that. So I did a 2-year course that included private singing lessons in that, as well as group singing lessons, learning to harmonise and things like that as well.
And for myself, I'm from the States, so my training was mainly in dance. I just went to university, liberal arts school. I did that training, but I also had the opportunity as well to do vocal lessons, and I also was in high school in musical theater and things like that. So it just kind of came as part of like the performance training package.
Okay. And how about you? How long have you been singing?
Oh gosh, I've been singing my whole life, but I've been trained with a vocal coach for about the last 16 or 17 years. And just like Jason mentioned, I also grew up in the performing arts, so I took a lot of dance as well. Not nearly as as these two, but you do kind of a whole hodgepodge of stuff and to try to be well-rounded. So I come from that background as well.
Okay. How long have you guys been with Princess?
This is my 3rd contract with Princess. I do a contract every year, so I have generally about 3 to 4 months at home, have some land time, get some land legs back again, and then I come back through after that.
Yeah, this is about my 7th contract with Princess. I started in 2013, but also for a moment I was shoreside, so I was helping teach the production shows as well. But then I've wanted to get back to performing, so here I am again.
And like Emma, this is my 3rd contract.
Okay. I was actually on the Royal in April. So I saw one of your first performances of The Secret Silk, which by the way is still my favorite show out of all the cruise lines. And I've seen Mamma Mia, I've seen all those. So I still like The Secret Silk, but I'm a Muppet, Jim Henson fan, and I'm also an Oriental story person. I love watching the old anime movies and the old martial arts movies, and this just drew me in when I saw you guys doing these performances. What I really enjoy when you guys are doing The Secret Silk is even the dancers who are operating the Jim Henson puppets, you're using your facial expressions and you're the puppet. You are the dragon or you are the fox. And I thought you guys did a fantastic job with that.
Thank you.
Definitely one of my favorite shows. I really like that. And your voices are key for that, for bringing out. And it kind of makes me wonder because The Secret Silk right now is only on 3 ships? 2 now.
At the moment, it's being installed on the 3rd ship as we speak.
So you guys were the first to launch, I know that, with Mr. Schwartz.
Jason's the original cast member, yes.
So did they audition you guys for that particular show, or did you come in and they say, okay, well, this is the song, we think you would be best for it, or how did it go?
As far for the premiere cast, it was a special audition held specifically for that show. So they went to multiple cities throughout the U.S. and they also accepted video submissions. Especially, I was actually on a contract on the Emerald, and I submitted my video, and I got pulled from that contract to come and do The Secret Silk. So it's definitely a selective process, specialized, and thinking of the characters that they'd already developed in the process. And then after that, because I was in the cast before these guys, so coming back into their cast, I know that speaking to people in rehearsals that they were selected and how each track for each ensemble and lead role is more geared towards that person's personality and what they see to fit for those particular, especially the animals and the Jim Henson puppets. So it's nice to be able to come, and I know the biggest thing that they wanted for the Secret Silk and throughout the fleet and to keep going is diversity and multiculturalism. So to have so many different people just helps to tell a story and adds an extra layer in general and to relate to everyone else out in the audience as well. So they have someone to look at.
Now, when I watch you guys on stage, for instance, in April, when I was watching you on stage, I could see you guys were enjoying yourselves up on stage. You enjoy what you do. You're having fun. But when I saw you do the Secret Silk for the first time, there was like an extra little enthusiasm that seemed to be going on. I think you guys get excited with new performances as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, that took 10 days to install on the ship. So most of our other shows, if they're a little less tech heavy or props and things like that we need to learn how to use, maybe 2, 3, 4-ish days to put the shows up onto the ships. But yeah, this one took 10 days for us to put up. So once we accomplished that, we were like, yes! It was great. So your opening night and everything of that show was just incredible. And then, I mean, to have standing ovations and constant standing ovations as well, you know you've done an amazing job. So
all the cast that I've met throughout my time with Princess, I really love the cast and how you guys seem to get along and really love the shows together. And even though you're doing the same shows on different ships, it's a different performance every time with the different cast members.
Yeah.
Even say with these shows, I've done 2 of them before previously, but different tracks in the show, so I'm in different routines and things like that. So that keeps it fresh all the time as well, and yeah, helps with that. And I mean, as well with the cast being friends and everything, I mean, you're a family on here. You have to be. If you start fighting, you're in each other's quarters for 24/7 for 7 months on board and 2 months before that in rehearsal. So yeah, it's good to be friends and family.
I just want to circle back to something that you said about enjoying the puppets, and you're a big fan of that, and you know, Jason mentioned how the process worked, but the dancers, actually the entire cast, got puppet training.
Yes,
and worked closely with the creator and director of the show. I mean, he really got to work with them very closely, but we did actually get an intensive couple of days with the choreographer and the director and creator of the show. And he, John Tartaglia, was an original cast member of Avenue Q, and he is a puppet master, and so he took so much time to convey the importance of all that. So what you saw was a lot of the result of that. So I just,
Agreed, No, he was amazing, and just his spirit in general. He directed and came up with the concept of the show, but I'm so glad that they got to work with him, because his energy and his care for the show, it has a special place in his heart, and he relates it back to something with his grandmother, and about especially the end of the show. Can't tell you, you have to come see it. But like how that, he was like, as we were going through the story and to make it work for the stage, how like that was something related and special to him, but then just how his energy and how he works with everyone, and his care for Jim Henson, because he is a big partnership with them, and he still does things with PBS and things like that. So that is so important for the storytelling, which is what they want for this particular show, to always be consistent from cast to cast as well.
We even got called like ensemble. Normally we're dancers and singers in shows, but this was ensemble when we were training for this show. So they were saying to us, like, you know, we are hugely amount of storytelling, and we are the storytellers in behind the scenes and everything. And it is true, when the main stage stuff is happening, you've still got to look at the other ones, everyone else on stage, because they're still all telling a story.
And I'm making sure I'm not cutting you off. Perfect. Because who wants to see me when they can see me? Actually, I was lucky enough to meet Jim Henson on when he did the actual Muppet Show at one point in LA. And the best way I described him was, he was like Walt Disney. The care and love he had for his creations is the same way Walt Disney felt about Mickey Mouse and his Donald Duck and all the characters that he created, and Disney World in itself. And I said, I miss that tradition in a lot of things that come up nowadays, right? And that's what I kind of got from the Secret Silk, is that tradition is still alive and well, which I really enjoy.
You know what, I actually studied Walt Disney for a project in high school, and one of the quotes that stood up was, everyone can pursue their dreams if they have the courage to pursue them. So yeah, if you keep going for a dream, like Walt Disney was bankrupt, and no one would accept his offers and stuff like that to open Disneyland, and you just get one person who does, and you just go and your dreams are come through. So never give up on a dream.
No.
At all.
Yeah, it's a little harder nowadays.
I know.
Things can happen. You never know, right? Yeah. You guys are doing what you love. And I'm pretty sure when you first started out in this industry, the first thing in your mind didn't come cruise line when you said singer or dancer. Yeah. But to me, if I was to start over my life and everything, it would be great to do this instead of having to pay to travel the world like I do all year.
Get paid to travel.
I would have loved to have been on a ship all this time.
See, when I was going through high school, I did not want to write one more essay in my entire life. So I was like, that's it, I'm dancing. And in Australia, there isn't much work on land. There's musicals that come through. If you say 2 or 3 per year will come through as well. But yeah, apart from that, there's not a huge grounded place for musicals or things like that in Australia. So most of us do go overseas, and then Princess hires a lot of Australians, which is amazing. So we really appreciate that.
That is the one thing that we've actually been having this discussion out sometimes about, like, as far as being a performer and versus working on a cruise ship and on land. Like on land, you do the same show every day for how many days a week, and here we get the ability to play so many different characters and do so many different types of shows. So it's nice because that also keeps us it keeps it fresh, and also the versatility that it requires for us to do that makes us more marketable in a sense to other jobs, because we have done so many different roles before instead of just being stuck in one role.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that they need the ability to do different types of dances in every show. I mean, we just did our last performance of Encore,
I know, and that's different
people
for
are
you.
doing ballroom dancing,
and you're singing opera songs, and like
so I feel like this has stretched me as a performer, because I am forced to be able to manipulate my voice to sing these different types of genres of music, as well as, you know, for them to be able to dance these different types of dance. It's a whole different part of your body, and so I think it's been a plus in terms of growing as a performer.
And then John Tartaglia said to us in rehearsals as well that Broadway, think of it like a mindset, not a venue. And
he's like, it could be anywhere. Yeah, he's like, this could be your this is Broadway. Who says that it's not? Like, location, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Well, something along what you were just saying. A lot of people assume if you're a dancer, you can dance anything. If you're a singer, you can sing anything. And I was watching the Wake show last night, and they were talking about tonight they have Dancing with the Staff, right? And one of the performers is dancing with some total stranger, random songs and random music. She says, I can dance our numbers with my eyes closed. I'd have no idea what to expect when they could put on ballet, they could put on jazz, it could be, you know, Can't Stop the Funk. And you don't think about that. You just say, well, dancer is a dancer, and it's not the same thing at all. And you can lose it if you don't use it.
That's even like if we're partying and stuff like that, at parties and everything, dancing
so
there.
awkward.
We need choreography.
I know, people are like, oh, why don't you want to get them dancing? Like,
where's my puppet? Okay, so let's go around the group and tell me what you would say would be your favorite thing about working on the cruise ship as a performer, and your worst thing.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, put them on the spot.
All right, so my motto in life is choose a job you love and you never have to work a day in your life. So that's huge benefits. You travel the world, get paid for it. I absolutely love just exploring, so adventuring out into the world, so I absolutely love that. You do miss family. That's a huge thing that I would say. Your family does come to you, though. They can come on cruise, which is amazing. So I have that every contract. My mum and other family members or friends come through, and so that's one huge part that I do miss definitely at home. And you miss out on things at home too, which weddings and things like that, babies being born. So
just Christmases,
everything.
I took a Christmas on the Caribbean Princess. I did the 14-day Caribbean Christmas and New Year's. I had a great time, but I kept on thinking my waiter and my service staff, they're working on Christmas to make sure I'm having a good time.
Well, it's so hard. I think that's the biggest biggest thing why we do this as well is the travel. And I think that's the appeal, even once you, I mean, obviously you want to go and you're like, oh, shows and working on a ship. But then I get to also go to these amazing places. Like, I've literally touched almost every continent except for Asia. Like, that is the only place I haven't been. And like, to think of where I come from, like such a small town, and I literally did not think that I would be doing this or being able to travel so much. I've been doing ships for 10 years now, and I've enjoyed that. It's been the best thing. And it's kind of hard. I spent a year at home as well. And it's nice to be home and to get your like land legs back and to feel like a normal human being sometimes. But then after a while, you're like, I miss being out at sea. Gosh, and I guess the worst thing, I feel like it's going to be the same. It's just missing out on certain things. Like, it was nice to be home for the break that I had before coming back here and get to spend time with my friends and catch up with my family, because they know I'm gone and they're always so understanding about it. But like, to get to experience events and see birthdays and kids being born and things like that, it's nice and grateful to have this experience, but to also be able to go back and do that whenever I can.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna just.
I know, it's hard, right?
Everything, but I enjoy. I mean, I enjoy that I get to do different genres of music and test that out and play with my voice. But I also the travel. I mean, I'm from Hawaii. I'm from a small town too, and I'm in the middle of the ocean nowhere. So if I were to plan a trip to Europe, I would pick maybe 2 places and then, save money for that and do that. But in the last 3 years, I've been to 40 countries, I think. And I mean, that would never have happened otherwise in any other circumstance. And then and then the homesickness. That's the one thing that's a little tough. It really does help though, as Emma said, that you bond with people and you become friends, because these people do actually really become your family and your support system when you get the blues and all that other stuff. So.
Yeah, and go ahead.
Oh, no, I will say, just since we said the same thing, but there is, obviously in any job and position, there's restrictions on things you can do. So like, that's why being home when we can is nice. Because like, for instance, we have certain times we can go eat, just because this is our place of work and not our leisure. We just get a little mix of that as well. So like, we can't go for dinner to the buffet till like 8 p.m., which is fine, because then we can still eat till 5:30. So it's like little things like that before, and when you can go home and you can cook and go to the supermarket anytime you want. I love going to the supermarket. So like, things like that you miss out on, because you're like, oh, I really would like to do this now, but I can't.
Right, because you think, oh, well, my meals are all paid for and I have a place to sleep and stuff, but you do miss the little things like going to the grocery store when you want to, cooking and that kind of stuff that you just can't.
I love to nibble.
Sometimes you'll also find that like a lot of us crew members do go off and just find Wi-Fi and eat.
Yes, that's it.
Like, don't you get food on the ship? But after 7 months of the same food, you want something different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a meal that I make myself that's simple: rice, hamburger, mushrooms.
Ooh.
And if I go too long without it, I start going crazy. And it's as simple as 5-minute rice, go. And, but I'm on the cruise ship, so I can't. But don't let Chef Giovanni hear you say that you want to cook and not like his cooking.
No, they might put me to work.
I know, right? In the
I
kitchen.
him yesterday, and I'm pretty sure he'd be upset with that as we went along. Speaking of some restrictions, one of the big things is no fraternizing with clients.
Oh, no.
That's correct.
And a lot of companies are doing that, obviously, for smart reasons. But I know that's not the same when it comes to each other as staff members, because Bex is married to dancers. Let that out of the bag last night. So I'm thinking, when you were mentioning, you got to get along and you can't fight, I'm going, well, sometimes husbands and wives are going to go at it sometimes. And I noticed during their numbers, they're not always together. They're always dancing in different numbers. So there's no favoritism there in that. But have you guys ever had a situation where it came awkward a little bit yet while you've been on a ship? That's yes.
I personally haven't. I met my boyfriend on here.
She just met her boyfriend. No, well, I'll say, like, I was here before them, and so I was seeing someone that worked in another department. That was nice, and then we just, distanced from another country, which happens often. So then, but it was nice, because then I got to come back, and then now he's gone again. So like things like that happen where you're like, oh yeah, remember you? Yes, hi.
Yeah.
But no, it like you were saying, like arguments and things like that, and even within us, like we are literally around each other all the time. And relationships on a ship feels like double time real life on land because you're always you work so closely with everyone and you live so close together that a lot of different range of things are bound to happen. But it's also, that's why we also say communication is the best, because you have to talk through your things and be adults about things. And if you don't like someone, then you just don't like someone. And if you do like them, then so be it. I mean, it's about being also professional in your work and personal life.
Yeah, you can dislike people everywhere, right?
Exactly.
You work for Google.
Yes.
Not like the person in the desk beside you.
But the unique situation is that we live where we work. So
Yeah.
that also
That's
adds a
it.
layer
Yeah.
You
of
sleep where you
Yeah.
Work and play is the same people, so we play social everything.
So it's helpful if you have an easygoing personality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Be
And I think
flexible and
most-
adapting.
Most
Yeah.
people who work on a cruise ship have to have that. You can't let things get you down or dwell on things too long because it would drive you crazy being stuck on a ship that long. I want to thank you guys very much. This was fantastic. A little insight to all the subscribers out there. And so, quickly, one favorite performance. What's your favorite show?
I love Secret Silk. It tells a story.
Secret Silk.
secret self.
Yeah.
I'm a theater junkie, so
Yeah.
to be able to actually speak lines as well as sing and stuff to help move the story along, I mean, that just speaks to my heart. So,
Next was Color of the World.
Yeah. It's a dance-heavy show.
A
that
dance-heavy
one,
show.
so,
So that's exactly why she said she preferred it. Thank you again very
Thank
much.
you.
And I love the performances. I really do. And this is my second bout seeing this group together. And I won't see you again now. You're just splitting up.
No.
Yeah, very last
But I'll
cruise
have to see you as an
together.
individual
You'll
area.
probably see us maybe
Around the
different-
fleet, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm on the Regal, the Crown, the Island, and the Majestic in the next year. So
You're gonna love the Majestic.
I'll
wow.
see somebody. So there you go. There's a little bit of insight of what it's like to perform and live on a cruise ship as an entertainer. And I really want to thank Emma, Jason, and Trisha for giving me their time. You saw that I edited this video and it's still 20 minutes long, and we just talked and talked and talked, and they were so nice and so likable and gave me their free time, which is very, very much appreciative. So if you're on a Princess cruise over the next little while, keep an eye out for them and you'll really enjoy their entertainment. They bring out, they can really perform, great dancers, and Trisha can really belt out a song. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. You want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Please hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.